Welcome to this week's episode of the Indy and Doctor podcast. Karan, what is Kesari 2? It's coming out tomorrow.
It is coming out tomorrow, Indy. So it's a film which is being directed by Karan Johar, who I'm going to tell you about in a second. And it has the lead Akshay Kumar, who was also obviously in the first film, Kesari, which was released in 2019. So Kesari 2 follows the storyline of a very prominent Sikh lawyer who essentially wanted to uncover the injustice and get justice for the victims of the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, which is obviously orchestrated by General Dyer. That's what Kesari 2 is about. Karan Johar. So I know we were talking offline. You're like, I'm not sure like who he is and stuff. You definitely have heard of him, even though you might not have heard of him. So
my
K3G.
Bollywood knowledge is shit, as you know. So please, I'm leaning on you here to fill me in on who's who.
So K3G.
Yeah, very aware.
Yeah. So that's his film. Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. Sorry, is that obviously that one? Kuch Kuch Hota Hai is his film. Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna is his film. So he's done a lot of big films. Back in the day, he used to be all about Shah Rukh and Kajal. So Karan Johar has been on the scene long time, big time film producer. Obviously has a massive show, Coffee with Karan as well, where he brings on loads of guests. You may have heard about that show as well. And also on other interesting news, definitely looks like he's on a GLP-1 analog. That dude has lost so much weight.
Acha.
His buddha
has got, yeah?
Well, yeah, Manjaro or some of the other new derivatives. But
Wegovy, whatever it is, yeah.
I don't know what it is, man. Him, Oprah, Sare, they just seem to be on it. So yeah, that's what Kesari 2 is. And obviously, and now they've confirmed there's going to be a Kesari 3 as well, which is later down the line, which is going to cover Hari Singh Nalwa, who we covered when we talked about Arjun Valley. And
so basically it's a series of Sikh films.
Yes, which are unrelated in terms of, they're not sequels. So they share the name in terms of Kesari, but they're different parts of Sikh history.
And so they also share the actors in different roles.
Yeah, so
which is a weird thing that Bollywood does. I don't understand that, but yeah, anyway.
Yeah, fair. I think what it's more so about is Akshay Kumar wants to champion certain parts of Sikh Itihas, and maybe some other actors don't want to do that. But he's taking that upon himself to portray some of these things. We've seen Gippy Garewal has just released a film as well in the last couple of days. That's been talked about a lot as well. Pakal. Kesari 1 came out in 2019. That was about the Battle of Sargali, which is about when the 21 Sikhs took on the army of 10,000. So we all know about the film 300, and we talk about that Battle of Thermopylae. This is kind of like the analogy for that happened as well, 1897. Real Sikh Itihas about the Qurbani sacrifice that those Sikhs gave, fighting. They were the British Indian Army, and they laid down their lives. And again, Akshay Kumar was the lead in that film as well. So that is Kesari 1. Kesari 2 is just about to be released, and it's about Jallianwala Bagh massacre.
Well, it'll be out by the time this episode goes out. So, all right, about Jallianwala Bagh. Now, the reason why you brought this up, and I think it's a fair point, is because there's been a bit of controversy around this, hasn't it, Karan, if you think about it? Obviously, there's a lot of empire deniers out there, people who say that Jallianwala Bagh was done for different reasons. It was done for the right reasons, because there were people being looters or revolting and all that shit, which is not true. And what is it, Karan Johar? What he said in questions when he was being asked about it, he said, forget what people say about that. It was absolutely false. They are making stuff up. When you watch it back and you hear about it, it was just an atrocity, basically. And it's good that he's putting his energy behind this film to take it forward and bring light to the situation and to demonstrate it again and show how bad it was. However, less about the actual massacre, more about the court case, turning it into a crime kind of investigative, not thriller, but conversation.
Yeah, conversation, way to uncover what really happened. You're right. The thing is, you can spin narratives and all these things, and for a long time, justification is always tried to be created. Like, no, this isn't genocide. No, these weren't, innocent people. No, there weren't children there who were killed. I know you're going to touch on this later, but one of the, I don't know if it's in the most current Uttam Singh film, but some of the older versions of it, one of the opening scenes is when and this is always stuck in my mind, about kids jumping in the well, trying to escape bullets.
I think it's from Sardar Udham, because that's the one that I saw, and that was heartbreakingly good. The depictions were so vivid and so heart-wrenching. Brought me to tears, man. Me and Sanj had to pause it because we were crying so much. It was that bad.
Yeah. The thing with Itihas is, Itihas means history. You can sometimes view it, right? And you can be like, okay, this is a film. And then you have the realization this actually happened.
Yes.
Then you have the realization it happened not so long ago. The same way we think about Uniso Chalasi as well, Operation Blue Star. Like this isn't that far removed, man. This is really not that far removed when we're supposed to be in a civilized world. Soldiers were given orders, open barrage of bullets, and it's just, what can you say? Nothing left to say.
Early history, but feels like it was so far away. But it wasn't. It really wasn't.
It really wasn't.
Anyway, so this film is putting General Dyer on trial. Yeah. Now, there's a little bit of overlap here between Udham Singh and what happened there and all the other storylines that have been covered about this. So the story that I'm very clearly aware of is Udham Singh massacred General Dyer for his role as being the governor of Punjab, was it? I think it was the governor of Punjab. Let me just double check my facts. What do you do? Yeah, he was governor of Punjab at the time, back then. And he went and assassinated him later on in life. I think it was in the 1940s. No. It wasn't the 1940s. No, it was earlier. It was earlier because he got to the UK in 1931. So from 1931 onwards, he goes after O'Dwyer because General Dyer died whilst Udham Singh was in jail in India. So he couldn't get his revenge, as he called it.
Yeah, and actually...
It doesn't help that their names are very similar as well. Sorry.
I was going to say, so a lot of people confuse the two people. That's a good distinction you put there.
Yeah.
Assassination obviously happened in the UK. And obviously, from the UK perspective, I think it's in Scotland Yard. The actual bundook that was used is actually still kept there. And he's obviously...
Is it?
Yeah, and I think he's labeled a terrorist. He's labeled a terrorist. Which is... And see, this is an example of, that common thing about one man's freedom fighters, another man's terrorist. Now, we know this and we look at certain parts of history and we don't really connect with it or relate to it. Whereas when we talk about Shaheed Udham Singh and Shaheed Bhagat Singh, definitely, it's definitely closer to home, right? And we think, no, this is badla, this was revenge, this was no, not really revenge. Avenge, he's avenging what happened.
I think it was a vengeance more than revenge. Because if that's terrorism, then what is it called that what General Dyer and O'Dwyer did to the people in India?
Yeah.
That's a massacre, and I would therefore genocide. Count that as terrorism, even though you were reigning in the country at the time by force. Maybe there's another word for that that's not coming to me right now. Yeah.
This is the thing. I was listening to something recently, just the last couple of days, which is, talking about Israel and Palestine, and they were just saying about how bad things happen, right? But as soon as you add sort of laws to it, or like a framework to it, or some sort of justification, then it's just, that was okay. That was the time. This is how you deal with it. And the same with Jallianwala Bagh. Like, I think it's only what's his face? Previous Conservative PM who resigned because of the Brexit vote. His name escaped. David Cameron. Probably playing a little game of 21 questions with you there. David Cameron. I think he was the most recent PM to actually apologize for Jallianwala Bagh, and he was there and he laid.
Did
I want to say wreath or...
Let me check.
Yeah, just check that for me. Just type in David Cameron, Jallianwala Bagh. He definitely made a trip out there. And I think what we're going to talk about today, the clip between one of the descendants of somebody that must have...
No, he didn't apologize.
He didn't apologize. He did something, didn't he? He acknowledged it, recognized it or something. But didn't.
In expressing regret over Jallianwala Bagh, David Cameron has revived memories of other controversies. Should Britain apologise for it? He did not apologise for it.
Right, okay.
India still awaits apology from Britain for massacre. Yeah, he did not apologise for it. That would have been massive headlines. And I think the reason why he didn't is because if he did, the British would have to apologise for everything they've done.
Which they
will not do.
No. That's interesting. What did the article say? India awaits apology from the UK.
Yeah. India still awaits apology from Britain for massacre in Amritsar 100 years ago. That's a New York Times article. Anyway, David Cameron defends lack of apology for British massacre.
Right, saying?
He has defended his decision to stop short of delivering a formal British apology for the massacre in 1919. Relatives of the victims expressed disappointment, and the Prime Minister said it would be wrong to reach back in history and apologise for the wrongs of British colonialism. I'm glad I corrected you on that, mate, because he did not apologise. Yeah.
Well, sorry. What I thought was interesting what you just said there was India awaits the apology from the UK. And then if you go one level lower, Sikh people are waiting for apology from India regarding 1984. It's just
layered, isn't it?
Layered.
Anyway, the reason why we're bringing this up is because there's a clip that has resurfaced on social media by our boy, Sathnam Sanghera, who's been a guest on the pod before. He did a documentary on Channel 4. It was called, I think it's The Massacre That Almost Broke Empire. Let me just double check my facts. It was called The Massacre That Shook the Empire. Sorry, my apologies. So there's a clip going around of General Dyer's granddaughter, or is it great-granddaughter? I think it's great-granddaughter.
Great, yeah.
He brought together her, and he brings together another person who had a great uncle who was there at Jallianwala Bagh, who covered himself in dead bodies to protect himself from being killed, who described the atrocity. This clip has gone viral, and it has gone into the stratospheres of India, bringing up conversations of colonialism, again, conversations of empire, and just to kind of see how unapologetic this woman is, like the arrogance is actually disgusting. So let's have a little listen, shall we?
You got the bit, yeah?
This is Raj Kohli, Dr.
Great.
Raj Kohli.
Hello, Raj.
Good morning.
How lovely to meet you.
Really lovely to meet you.
Thank you, I hope so. General Dyer is a very honourable man and greatly liked by the Indian, who spoke 3 or 4 Indian languages, which very few people did.
I think we may be brushing over his contempt for Indians when we talk about the fact that he knew 4 languages, and certainly your recollection or understanding of how he was received by Indians would certainly be at odds with what we understand and what is written about him.
So your great uncle Balwant,
Yes.
what was his experience?
He's a young man. He described himself as a bit of a hellraiser.
So he was a looter. Was he a looter?
No, I wouldn't say he was a looter. He was an educated man, and certainly far from it. And I don't think the family would have certainly allowed that kind of behaviour. I would object quite strongly to the view that they were rioters.
I do respect hugely the people and the families who got killed and everything. But so does General Dyer.
And I'm also very aware what's happening here. You've got 2 Asian men, Sikh men, in glasses and blue suits. I don't know, bully you.
No,
I'm just want to ask.
Get up and walk out.
Do you feel slightly bullied by us?
No, I feel quite nervous because I'm not well read, but I don't feel I have to be well read on this subject.
I feel the responsibility as a Briton, as a British person, that we must view things honestly in the very recent
So you feel
past.
I've been dishonest?
I believe that you... Okay, I'm going to put my niceties aside, and I'm going to say I think you have conveniently not sought objectivity. I think you've been dishonest with what the colonial past was like. If we can't be honest about Britain in India 100 years ago, then how can we be honest about how we view Britain in the future?
No. I think history is history, and you've got to accept that and not wallow in it. Good.
Not wallow in it. Okay, first of all, she sounds like a right populous Gunjari, man. Oh, hello. It's so good to meet you, Raj. Oh, hi. How lovely to meet you. I know my great-great-grandfather assassinated your people, but I do not care at all. Hello, Raj. Can you come take a seat for me, please? I don't have to be very well read on this situation and the issues at play. That's how she sounds, man. Fuck, you know.
So just pause. I love how naturally you went into that. Towards the end, you became slightly German.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. Maybe I got a bit too into it.
Yeah, but so like this, you're talking like this. You know what it was? It's like there are multiple points where you're like, I can't believe she said that. And then she says another 5 things. So there's, don't wallow in it. History of the past is the past.
History is history. Don't wallow in it. I'm not well read, but I don't have to be well read on this subject. Oh,
and then,
I mean, how can you have an opinion on something like this so strongly and not even look at the facts? You've got a historian to your left, a guy in front of you who is a relative of somebody who lived through it. Yeah. But you're going to sit there and say, oh, I don't have to be well read about it. I know what my great granddad said was completely right.
So, a couple of things here. You're going into a high profile interview, mainstream media. very sensitive topic. Your great-grandfather is the perpetrator here. Why would you not read up on this? If you're going to take a position, at least have some facts. Like, well, I don't understand why she didn't do any prep, right? That's the first thing. And then so, Raj is being slightly kind of, I'd say, nice, talking about his...
But he was ridiculously nice.
Yeah, no.
Even when he said, I'm going to be forward, that was not forward at all.
No,
he was so polite.
He was very polite. But the bit where he said, he's a Hellraiser, in a bit of jest, right? And then she's like, he's a bit of looter, is he? Yeah, yes, that's why we shot them. I was like, whoa, like you need to...
Yeah, in which case, he should have said to her, so your granddad was a bit of a genocidal maniac, was he? Okay. If we're calling accusations here, we can do that. Except mine's true and yours isn't. But yeah.
I don't know what the initially had been agreed. Sometimes with these high profile interviews, they have agreed questions, but the question to, put to her very directly would have been, in your understanding, what would have been the justification for this? Please simply just tell us that.
What's been told in your family? Yeah. Tell me your family's side of the story that have been, or the lies that have maybe been told. Maybe don't say it like that. Obviously, I'm being emotional now, but tell me what your family believes to be true about this situation. How about that?
Yeah. About why it occurred and they're introducing, he's loved by the people, speaks 4 languages. Now, the thing is, I was saying to someone earlier today, you can have the 2 things can be right at the same time. 2 statements can be right at the same time. Maybe in his early days when he was in India, maybe he was liked by people and he got along with people, maybe, right? But bringing that up like, born nice banda si the, and then there's another weird comment she said. After the massacre, he cared for the people as well. He also cared for the people in the family.
Yeah, he also cared for the people that were killed. I'm like, well, did you? Because if you did, you would have stopped it, no? But okay.
The other thing I also think about, which I don't think gets talked about enough, is sometimes it's convenient for example, 1984, Operation Blue Star, General Bra will say, these are my orders to attack Mandir Sahib. Okay? So orders came from Indira Gandhi. In the same vein, who gave the order to General Dyer for this to occur? That's what I want to know. I've not heard anybody talk about that. Like higher level.
No, I think it is out there. We just have to look for it. There is definitely an order for it. The reason why it was done was because they were trying to control the uprising that was happening around them by Gandhi, by Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs coming together and uniting against the empire. This was seen as a way to check them back in line. Prime opportunity, a lot of people gathering, bang, done.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair tactic, Basaki, let's attack. But by that logic, are we saying this has come from the monarch? That's the question.
I don't think it came from the monarch. Probably came from General Dyer, and General O'Dwyer executed it.
No, but But I'm saying general, highest rank in the army, apart from the field marshal, still gets orders from somebody else. That's what I'm saying.
No, I think he made it because he was governor of Punjab at the time.
Yeah, but I'm saying he still has somebody he reports to. He's not there was the Viceroy of India.
I'm pretty sure he thought things are getting out of control. I need to stamp some authority on here.
He just took it upon himself, you reckon?
Probably.
Maybe, but that's the question I'd want to see. Were there orders from higher up?
DM Sathnam and ask him, man. He'll tell you.
Yes, he's the right person to ask.
Yes, he is.
I'll ask him.
Now, but what I think is fantastic is Channel 4 have edited that to make her look bad. That's cool, but I want to see the full unedited Galla, because no way was that conversation 30 seconds. It was much more complicated than that. I'm sure the conversation got a little bit awkward, a little bit heated. Just throw that unedited version up. But I know they won't, because that will probably breach so many different things on their side.
The reaction of Karan Johar's reaction, I don't know, do you want to play that bit?
I can dig it out, but it's a bit long. However, just before you skip ahead, shout out to Sathnam for holding it down there in the right way possible. He said, how do you feel now in this conversation? Because we're not trying to gang up on you. Are you okay? Trying to have an objective conversation here, not anything that's quite emotionally charged. Saying 2 brown men with glasses. Not very intimidating personally, but you know. Anyway, I'm sure the cameramen behind were white, but anyway, everything's cool. So you don't have to be too concerned about that. But I understand why he did that, to bring the person on side and to allow them to open up and be a little bit more real with their feelings and thoughts. So big props to him. And go and watch that documentary. It is on YouTube, I think. You can still watch it back if you're based in the UK. Sorry if you're not abroad. If not, get a VPN. I'm sure you'll be able to find it on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. History is history. Don't wallow in it.
Yeah. Very
Tell
convenient.
that to
isn't it?
every kid in school that has to learn about Henry VIII's wives, fucking World War I, World War II, the British one, and that's it.
Bro,
So we love
recently
wallowing in the good shit, but not the bad stuff we did. All right, big man.
I tell you know how you have certain stuff which lives rent free in your head. That recent clip from Risham when he's like we're talking about Henry VI's wife, I'm believing मेरी चाची लगती थी that.
Oh, कौन लगता मेरी चाची?
मेरी चाची. I mean, that's the end of the six why the cut her head off. Like, it's just so funny. It's just what she said there was just convenience, right? And it's just until it affects you or your family personally or your people or something you really care about. Yeah, history, sanugi, da, da, da.
Amnesia of convenience, I believe they call it, Karan.
Amnesia convenience, yes, that's it.
Anyway, you were saying Karan Johar.
Yeah, man, very, very, very animated reaction. See, what is interesting here is, so I just talked about Gippy Kadawal, right? Like Gippy is very well known in the Punjabi industry. Gippy making a Sikh film, great, right? But for someone like Karan Johar, Akshay Kumar, mainstream to be championing these projects, that's big. That's going to get in the same way. This isn't obviously the same thing, but obviously Chamkila, it was backed properly. You had Diljit and you had proper directors. It was very, very mainstream. It bodes well. It bodes well, and it raises the awareness massively.
Low-key, I think the reason why they do this is because Punjabis and Sikhs have some of the most fire stories, just historically. They have very, very appealing, good stories, complex stories. It's very new. It's kind of current, so therefore it's better to talk about. That's just my own personal opinion.
I think we would be naive not to think that obviously they have to make money from these projects and there has to be that side to it. And you're right, if it's fire and it sells and it's topical, it's going to do well. But for example, Kesari 1 did very, very well at the box office. So yeah, I guess there has to be that. They want to tell stories that can do well. It happens to be sick, great. Oh, good.
So anyway, Karan got very upset. Not you, Karan Johar. With the conversation. Right. And he referenced this lady in that clip, hence why we played it to you guys.
He goes, I know the clip. I know this woman. And I don't give a damn.
Yeah. Respect to him.
Yeah. I've seen Karan get animated for a while, man. Normally he's on his show, Coffee with Karan, and he gets other people animated, like he'll ask all these awkward questions. But yeah, man.
British Empire, man, it always cuts close to the bone. It does.
It's just, it's just as you get older, and you just start to realize, man, there's these dark periods, which you just don't have an appreciation when you're young. You kind of know of it.
Bro, there's dark periods happening all the time across the world.
All the time.
Israel, Palestine. Earthquakes in Myanmar. Earthquakes in Thailand. Like, there's always dark times, no matter what period you live through. Iraq War, Afghanistan War. Like, and these are the ones that we know about. There's still other stuff in African countries that we never hear anything about.
Yeah, I have friends who have like relatives from like Uganda and Kenya, and they tell me about these massacres that, again, we don't get taught about in schools. We don't have friendship groups or families affected, so we don't know. And then they tell us, like, yo, that's huge, man, that the scale of the massacre. Even thinking back to, certain skits which we see in Goodness Gracious Me, like they're making light of some of the, the British Empire stuff. But you think about the jokes that they're making and why they're making them and where the conversation goes when you start looking at it. Yeah, man. We need to...
Very deep.
Very deep. You need to look at it. You need to talk about it. You need to read about it. And obviously I'm very, very happy that this film is being released, and hopefully... Yeah, I need to work out logistically how I can watch the film.
I'm going to try and watch Kesari 1 this weekend. I didn't even know it. I didn't even know about this film until today when you told me about it. I was like, oh, this is interesting. So Kesari 1's on Prime if you want to go and watch it. That's what I'm going to be doing this weekend, this Easter weekend. And I'm going to go and see the Michael B. Jordan film as well. That's the objectives I've got.
The which film?
The new Michael B. Jordan film.
Which film? What's he in?
I've forgotten the name of it. But it's gotten insane ratings on Rotten Tomatoes.
What genre?
Michael B. Jordan film. It's a thriller / horror.
Thriller. Nice.
Sinners, that's what it is.
I know you've already seen this. This is completely random. It can take 10 seconds, but Space Jam, the remake with LeBron. The bit where Michael B. Jordan walks in, like, that's Michael B. Jordan, not Michael Jordan. That's so good. That's so funny. Yes. So, yeah, that is that.
So there we have it, man. Let us know your thoughts below, people. Are you going to be watching the film now that you've seen that? Was that woman correct? I mean, I'll be surprised if anybody says yes, but please drop your 2 cents. Be happy to hear it. Next segment, Karan?
Yep.
Let's do it. Something lighter. Jingle me, Karan.
Oh, it's been a while since it's been jingle, isn't it? Confessions of Brown Monday. It's been Brown Indy. That's what it's been recently.
Am I the asshole?
4.
Here we go. I'm about to tell you. Question. Am I the asshole? I moved into this house with Sanj a year and 3 months ago. A year and 2 months ago now.
Just pause. Just pause. You know what you sound like? You sound like the judges just said, opening statement from the prosecution. You just turned to the jury.
Absolutely. Yes, I have.
Just all right. Now imagine that as you're telling it. And just add a bit of hands in there as well. I'm the jury, right?
No. Let me just say my point, please. Okay. Right. Am I the asshole? I moved into this house a year and 2 months ago. Now, a year and 2 months ago, Sanj came to this lovely residence that we live in. However, we were on good terms with the people who used to live here. The people who used to live here still send messages and letters and packages here. That gets a bit weird, doesn't it? Because letters are okay. You can just write on the back, scribble it out and say return to sender. Fine, no problem. When it comes to packages, however, we have been known to accept a couple in the first 2-3 months as an accident. Fine. Recently, there was a massive package that came to the house. I'm talking this big, with stuff in it. It was a blue bag. Comes to the door, and I was thinking, Sandra's ordered something, whatever. I accept the package. I look at it. Guy takes a picture, tries walking off, and it's massive, and it says the old people's names on it on the front. And I called the guy back. I said, whoa, come back. He said, what? I said, they don't live here anymore. The guy is fresh. That doesn't help. But he looked at me confused. He's like, what? I said, they don't live here anymore. And he said, okay. I said, take it back. He said, I don't understand. I said, take it back. They don't live here. I'm not accepting it. Because now you're taking the piss, isn't it? It's been 14 months. You've got your house of residence. If you're sending something to me now, you are taking the piss. I am not a DHL drop-off locker. Go and take it back and figure this out. So the guy reluctantly takes it back to his car, throws it in the back, goes, fine. I messaged Sanj being all Billy Bib bollocks saying, rejected their parcel at the door. We have to draw the line somewhere. This is taking the piss now. You've already been sending letters back. It's cool. No problem. Next day, Sanj gets a message off the old owners in the morning saying, hey, is there a package there for us? And I said to Sanj, just tell them no. Tell them no. We weren't in, right? Or something like that. Or just no, it was sent back. And he said, oh, okay, that's weird because DHL have said that you guys accepted it. And I was like, what do we do now? Okay, let's say that Dad was here and he rejected it at the door because that makes sense. Fine. He said Dad rejected it. Cool. Unfortunately, DHL had the picture of me at the door, don't they, with my head cut off at the bottom so they could see my neck down, showing that I gave it back and I was holding the package in my hand. So now we had to say no, Indy and Dad rejected it at the door and it got sent back. However, DHL are disputing it, saying, well, we've got a picture of it at the door. It was not sent back. The driver hasn't logged it. It's with you guys. It's with the address that it was sent to. So Sandra's now caught in the middle of this, which is not helpful for her. No, I need to finish. You can hold your question. All right. Sandra's caught in the middle of this. Not a very good look. She is a little bit annoyed about the situation because she said, why don't you just accept it? I said, you've got to draw the line somewhere, man. This is taking the piss. This guy then says the next day, can you send the Ring doorbell? No, first he said, have you got a Ring doorbell? And I was like, Banjo, do you know I've got a Ring doorbell? Because you come to the house and rang it. You can drive past my house and you can see it. You know where I live. You clearly know the answer is yes. So I was thinking, do I be petty and say yes, but it's only on a free trial. So therefore we don't have the recordings. No, I wasn't going to do that. I said, fine, I'll give him the recording. I'll crop out me giving it back to them on the side of the door and I'll turn the audio off. I'm like, here's your recording. Showing the driver clearly takes the package back and walks back to the car with it. They said, oh, this is a really important present. It was for my son's birthday. It's in 3 days' time. I thought, well, if it's that fucking important, why don't you send it to the right address then, dickheads? I'm not doing this. I'm not having it. So no, I've taken the piss. So Karan, the question is, am I an asshole for saying no?
The first thing is, thank you for addressing the jury, and I can see this means
Thank
something
you.
very important.
This is a common thing that people do on Reddit. There's a thread called "Am I the asshole?"
Yeah.
AITA.
The thing is, in your former existence, Indy, you were definitely an asshole, and you still have shades of being it. So I can understand why you would ask this, but it's like if you took that out, you know the other thing you like to say, "Am I wrong?" Though that's like a famous Indy phrase. When we get,
but am I wrong?
But am I wrong, Karan? It's going to be on his merch, right? I feel like we can do better than Billy Big Bollocks as well. We need something that incorporates your name as well. So come up with that later. I want
Indy Big Bollocks. There you go.
No, it has to be some alliteration. But anyway, we'll come back to that. The reason I put my finger up was I know you've got the Ring doorbell, and I was like, surely just show the evidence of the driver taking it back. So the bit that confused me though, you said you're on the free trial, so you haven't got recording. So how did you get the recording?
No. I should have said to him, I'm on the free trial. I don't have the recording, so I don't have to give it to him.
Got it. But why did you not want to just prove that the guy took it?
Because I don't have to prove anything else to you. It's your fuck up. Go and sort it out now. You've taken the piss. You're now stressing out Sanj, which wasn't necessary. You sent a package here that isn't my responsibility, and now you're trying to pin it on me. Fuck you.
But the video proved that it wasn't, yeah? So
the video proved that it's been taken back. I'm like, go and deal with it.
You sent the video, then there was no more. Then it went back
I think so, yeah. I don't think there's been any more correspondence.
Yeah.
Sanj also called them, DHL, and said, we didn't accept the package, trying to prove it. I said, why are you getting involved now? She said, because it's getting annoying. I said, okay, fine. 2 days ago, these fuckers sent another package. Woman comes to the door and says, Claire, whatever. I was like, nah. And I said, don't take a picture. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, somebody else tried to take a picture of me accepting it. I'm not accepting it. No, I'm not touching it. And she said, okay, fine. Well, the alternative address for them is here. I said, what? You've got their actual address there? She said, yeah. I said, well, go and deliver it to their main address. What are you doing it here for?
No, that's okay. This is a twist.
See, this is taking the piss now, and this is Prime taking the piss.
Address. That's your essentially Amazon locker, yeah. Sorry, can I just clarify?
Sorry, also, did I not pay you best for this house? Did you not get a market rate for it? Were you not happy for it? Yes. So why am I doing your fucking Nokrakam right now?
So say this is like in the first 2 months and this package you come. What would have been, do they come and collect it themselves or do you send it to them?
They swing by, yeah. They're like, oh, can we come and collect it?
Mate, you essentially a locker system. So I'm completely with you. You're not an asshole. That last bit is very intentional. See, when you were telling the story, it sounded like DPD or DHL thought this was their primary residence. And I was like, okay, that's the 14, 18 months in, whatever. That's lazy. Come on, change your forwarding address or whatever, yeah? But they have got the primary address and this is their backup address. That's some sneaky shit, man.
For a different company or whatever in which they're doing it through.
Do you know where they live? Do you know how far?
Yeah, I know how far they live from me. About 10 minutes away.
Here you go. So they have neighbors, right?
Yeah.
Right. So put your neighbor as the designated next place or your local pickup center.
Or just do what normal people do. Just check the
it.
address that you send it to, change everything. When me and Sanj moved here, we changed everything. All of our addresses to here.
You're missing the point. That's what I'm saying. That's not what they've done, bro. On DHL, on DPD, on all the things, they have got where they live 10 minutes away from you. But as their safe place, if we're not in, where do you send it? They put your fucking address.
Yeah,
this is not on. This is not on. That's what I'm saying. So this is intentional, man. This is malice.
So this is why I drew the line. I was like, no, I'm drawing the line. Fuck you. I'm not accepting it. Now I'm glad I drew the line because I'm like, you can't be doing this shit to me anymore. Sanj said, Indy, why don't you just accept it? The second time. I said, I'm not doing this. No. Piss off.
Bilkul. Have a safe place. Go to your local collection depot point, whatever. Go to your neighbor. You can't have your old house. You're like, oh, mera ghar si, theek hai. I'm friends with the guys. No, you are not a locker system.
No.
Right? Absolutely not. What was funny in what you just said there was when you said Sanj got involved, you go, why are you getting involved? It's like, you know that guy, when his wife comes in, video Tata Mari. That's what you sound like. Do you involve me? Big man Indy. Right, so how have you left it now? Like, do they understand?
Nothing. That's it. They haven't contacted us about the second package. I think they've got the message now, which is no, I'm not doing
bullshit. This. Birthday print, like exactly, man. If that's not a you problem, that's it.
I don't care if it's a birthday thing or whatever, man. Piss off.
Again, that's a you problem. You arrange for it to go somewhere, collect it, blah blah blah. Our house is not your collection point. That's it. Our house. You put this in the timestamp when you write it up. Our house is not your.
It's not your collection point. Yes.
Did you get that, man? And I think you should send him a message, all caps. Henceforth, no post will be forwarded. No packages will be accepted. End of.
You know what cracked me up? Sandra saying to me, you should have just accepted the package. I was like, hang on, you've been sending letters back. Surely you already started this. I'm just continuing it on. And just because I work from home most of the week, I'm the one that's on the receiving end of the packages. Now I'm the wrong person.
It's uncharacteristic for Sanj to be soft on this issue. Why? That's what I'm also trying to understand.
I don't think she wants the headache in it.
Sanj, I was about to say Sanj likes conflict. That's not the right statement.
No, I like conflict.
No, Sanj doesn't like conflict, but as in, if conflict arises, Sanj doesn't shy away and will sort it out, is what I meant to say.
Oh, yeah. She extinguishes it quick as well.
Or man, she's
Tata.
Ice Queen, man. So I don't understand why. Why does she not want to just squash this?
Anyway,
interesting.
That was confession number 1. Thank you for telling me I'm not the asshole. I feel a lot better now. Confession number 2. How do you get your Desi dad to understand a pivotal date in the calendar that he has to attend?
Right. So, firstly, we're obviously talking about CSK. CSK has a track record of being in India a lot of the time. So, a couple of guesses here as to what this key event might be. Is it a birthday?
Kind of birthday related.
Anniversary?
No.
Okay. Is it to do with your mum?
Yes. Ooh, let's play 21 questions. Go on. That's 3 questions. Go on.
It's to do with your mum, but it's not her birthday and it's not their anniversary. What else? No, he's not going to celebrate. You're not going to celebrate mum's retirement. It's not that. What else would you celebrate for mum? It's a celebration though, right?
Yes.
Well, you weren't absolutely 100% about it. So it's a kind of, you could call it a celebration is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Not really a celebration, but you want your dad. Is the whole family going to be there?
Yes.
You need to be there. Is this something oh, I know what it is. Yes, I've worked it out. I remember now. You already told me. The family photo.
The family photo shoot that we booked over half a year ago for my mum's birthday. Mum's 70th birthday. We said, Mum, we're going to get you a family photo shoot. I know you want this. You want some fresh pictures. The last pictures on the wall were me when I was literally half my age ago, looking clean shaven, like a little tata, on the pictures with a little butt on. It's not a good look. And my brother couldn't even make it because he was locoming on that day, which obviously upset my mum. So we had half a family. We had my Gija step in, which is fine. However, my niece and nephew were not there. Sandra wasn't there. My bubby wasn't there. You know, the family's grown. We need to have a new picture.
You had your Gija step in as what, Bal?
No, he just stepped in as, being the other honourable brother, I guess you can say. Yeah. So we need these new photos. We said to Dad, it is this date. It's done, sorted, sealed, delivered. No problem.
CSK's diary system is?
He hasn't got one. Either it's a wedding card or it's in his head.
Yeah.
In his head. So we then said to Dad, are you going to India soon? He said, huh? I'm like, okay, when? He said, between this month and this month. And I said,
who books his travel?
Sometimes me, sometimes him.
Okay, so you can't even get around it by...
Yeah, he can book it himself. And now that I have... Actually, here's a side point. I've broken him out of flying Air India because when I did that surprise flight for him to come back to the UK at Christmas, I sent him on Swiss Airways. And he's like, yeah, it's great. I'll do this again, Swiss Airways. I was like, nice, isn't it, Dad, being treated like a fucking human and not a Janvar on a plane, isn't it? Yeah?
I sent you something else recently, didn't I, about Air India? And I was just like...
Bro, everything is Air India problems, man. It's getting to the point now where I don't even want to talk about it because they're that much of a meme.
Yeah.
You've got blocked toilets, people trying to shove kapre down the chute or something. You've got other people, flight attendants sleeping on the planes. What the fuck is wrong with your airline, man?
That's it.
It's going to get better with a new air fleet. Fuck off. Right, sorry, carry on.
And that, when that mob was behind the door, we don't trust you. It's been 5 hours. Let us...
Exactly. Fucking ridiculous.
Anyway, so it's a CSK.
So what my bubby and brother have done, they went round to the house. We rebooked the date. We moved it to a hot month, June, July. So we can't be in India. He physically can't. And then we put it on a post-it note. But then my brother got so petty, he took a picture of it, put it as my dad's screensaver on his phone, his wallpaper and his screensaver saying the date of the event. So you cannot say we didn't tell you this is the date of the event. It is on your phone. You look at it every day. He doesn't even know how to change his screensaver on his phone.
I love that. You're like, pasata. I was thinking before you got there about writing in his passport somewhere. This is the date. But
the one device he looks at every day for hours on end, home screen is there. You can't forget.
If only WhatsApp had a way, because he does a lot of WhatsApp. Every time he sends a WhatsApp forward, the date flashes up. It's like a reminder.
Yeah.
Now,
is that the pettiest thing you've ever seen?
I think you know your dad well, and I think you've worked out the most efficient. No, not efficient. I can't think of the word, but the most something way of making
guaranteed
sure
way.
Guaranteed way. He gets to see it and it gets done. Now, the question I have, and all listeners have, is said family photo. Will there be merchandise mugs that we can buy?
I don't hope there will be merchandise mugs, but I can't promise you that won't happen.
Right. I will write to CSK and formally request that on his next India trip, that photo is made into a mug, and I will have said mug in my car. And when you come over, I will proudly get it out and be like, Indy, this is
for those who don't understand the joke, the context is that at our house, my dad took some really bad pictures of my brother and Bobby on their engagement. I was in it again, looking like a shaved tractor in a vodka. He went to India, had them put on mugs, bought them back, and then he said, "Here's mugs. Look, I've got really nice mugs." There's worse ones. He actually had a picture of my brother and him and my sister, except the person in India messed up the photo. What they did was they took a picture of my dad and my brother, and they mirror flipped it. So my brother's on the mug twice. So it goes, Dad. So it goes, brother, mum, dad. Sorry, no, brother, dad, mum, dad, brother. I was like, so where's my sister in this? Like, just really bad, awful editing, man.
I'm sure there's
and he's so proud of it when he brings it back. He's like, look, I've got these lovely mugs. And Sanj, being the lovely lady she is, says, I need 2 for my house. So she took 2 from my mum and dad's to live in our cupboard downstairs.
Proudly. I think there's something else you showed me. I don't know if it was on a mug or it was on a t-shirt or something, where I think it was a more recent trip that he went and they'd superimposed like some, it looked like a pend, but it wasn't a pend, and there was like some.
They superimposed a pend of mum and dad looking out on a pend. Yeah, that's it.
Was it Dad's dad's birthday party?
That was on a mug. No. That was on one of the pictures, I think.
Yeah,
I can't even keep up.
Dad's birthday at 5 Rivers.
It was Dad's birthday at 5 Rivers. Yeah.
But it was superimposed this pend thing. I was like, what is this?
It's fucking crazy, man. Then he got his 70th birthday mug pictures, which he's obviously got made.
That's it. Yeah.
New ones, like fuck it out.
So, listen, guys, merch. You don't need to look beyond this. These are investment pieces. Okay, आही मैं कहने आ. तुसी Bitcoin छड्डो, gold छड्डो. आह तुसी CSK the mug रखो. These will be very valuable in the future. वही मैं कहना. That's all I'm gonna say.
Next one, Karan. How much chili is too much?
Context where Punjabi khana on a pizza or what?
When you're making food at home, how much mirch is too much?
Good question. I'm going to be really honest. I don't know is the answer in terms of the cooking preparation stage. Let's say we take like a hari mirch, like how much of that would be used if that's your question. I don't know. I don't know what the references is.
So red mirch, if you see a portion of red mirch you've got to put into your food and the food's like massive, you're like, that's it? Really? So being, the smart person you are, you think, I know better. I'm going to put in another one.
Sorry? Do baate?
And then I thought, that's still too little. I'm going to put another one in. So I did.
Just pause. What were you making?
I was making chicken egg fried rice.
For who?
For me and Sanj.
No one else?
No.
You've made this before?
A long time ago, yeah. And I was like, these portions seem a bit weird.
Do you use mirch often in your cooking?
Occasionally.
Not regularly.
We use paprika a lot.
Paprika isn't mirchi at all.
You know what I mean.
Huh?
Okay.
So we use paprika. What's the it's got nothing to do with anything, is it? Oh, see paprika.
I got caught out there.
I know very little about cooking, but I know paprika is not mirchi, right? No.
Anyway.
So you, my
bro,
God.
I threw it all in, made it. I was like, this is going to taste banging.
Do you know
then
your
I had
body?
a bit and I was
do
like,
it's
a little bit gora. And I gave it to Sanj and she was like, this is really gora. And I thought, shit. What do you do? So how do you reverse mirch? You kind of can't. You have to throw everything else in and try and balance it out.
Dahi is the answer to
dahi
mirch.
is one thing, but in the actual food itself, you're apparently meant to throw in sugar and lemon juice. I threw in so much sugar and so much lemon juice, it was doing nothing to it. We literally just had to waft it down and just take the pain. Yeah, just take the pain afterwards. Be like,
Pani.
Not Barney, just fucking yogurt. I had my protein yogurt, the strawberry protein yogurt you don't like. I had that ready, like, shovel it down me. Yeah, wasn't good.
What surprises me in what you just told me is you are Indavid Sanghera.
Jagjit Singh, I get it right.
Jagjit, sorry. You have IBS. Everything sets your tid off.
Yes.
You thought in your infinite wisdom when you're cooking,
I thought this is too little.
Really
like, it
big
just felt
bollocks.
too little.
you're like, oh, nikka choda, mara, nimma,
Yeah,
lovely,
come on,
lovely,
man. I was
lovely.
making that much for like 1.2 kilos of chicken. That doesn't seem right. Nah. What about that?
What have you learned? What are your reflections?
To always undercook it, under egg it on the seasoning. Because you can add seasoning, you can't remove it. So
you got
go with it and then add it in retrospect when the food's nearly cooked.
Yes, exactly. Because remember, when we go to, I don't know if you do this, but when you go to Wags, right, food comes out, right? The trick is I never say, if I get the pad thai, I never say make it spicy. So bring it. And then will come the chili oil and then the flakes. And then you can spice it up, bro. You can make it as much as maza you want. The IBS, did it set you off? Did you have loosies?
Oh, yeah, it was bad. It was a rough few days. Yeah.
I think this is self-inflicted. I think you did this on
one
purpose.
that one
yeah,
was.
Yeah. Tu kita. You did it. You
asshole.
asshole.
The famous words of gutter.
You asshole.
And the famous words of gutter and galtkam kita. There you go.
You say hello?
Yeah, all the time.
Galti cheez kita. Wrong kita. Yes. Naughty kita. Yeah.
That's me.
That's you. Right. Lovely confessions. So I had a day recently where I came back from work. Was just going to have a nice relaxed evening. Relaxed being playing with Ikam and doing Ikam related activities. Came back and she was like, oh, in the shower, the pani's building up, and I got there and like basically there were like towels on the floor and the mop thing was there. And I was like, okay. Now I, on a quarterly basis, will you regularly use the drain cleaner thing to stop it happening. And when I wash my hair, at the end of my shower, I open up the grill thing and I try and pull out all the hair, and I'll do that regularly before blockage comes. So I was like, oh, chalo pani pa, fine. Anyway, so I got there, had my gloves on, put my fingers down the bit in the grate. But there's one or two little bars coming out. But as I was pulling it, Indy, like when you're pulling like a rope, and I was like,
oh yeah.
I was like, no. What's this? And I was just like, but the trick is you pull too hard and it snaps, right? And then you've lost the thread. So you've got to, you got to be a bit bolla. And so I was doing it, and then I managed to get 2 fingers in. No word of a lie. I think I've got a picture of it, and I'll show you when I see you. This thing that came out, this alien sarir, right? Alien body, this big, full of hair, conditioner. I don't know what it was. I was looking at it, and I was like, wow.
It's all Shindi's hair. It ain't yours.
Oh yeah, bro. Mere the baal hai nahi. Right? And she tried to pin it on me. She goes, "Tera kaam hai." I said, "No, mate.
Of course.
Tera kaam hai. All right, tera kaam hai." Right? She goes, "No, it's your beard." I said, "No, darling, it's not my beard. Right? It's not. Tera kaam hai. Right? You little when you have your shower and you're doing your mermaid."
When was the last time we did it?
Did what?
That unblockage system.
A week ago.
A week ago. She
You
built
mean-
up that much hair in a week.
Oh no, you mean before that time?
Yeah.
Yeah, a quarter ago. So I would have done it like December. I do it once every 4 months. What? No, let me clarify. Every time I have a shower, I will lift the grate and do a light clean stuff I can see, and I'll clean it, right? But put the drain cleaner down thing, the proper kettle pani and everything, once every 3-4 months with the sinks as well. And this has never happened, bro. It's been blocked before, but I've never. And the times I've unblocked it in the past, it's been so far down that I've not been able to see what the thing was. But I stood there and I was like, wow, I got Gija, man. And then, I was so proud. I don't know if proud is a word. No, I don't know if I was proud. But basically, when you fix something, you feel like more.
Oh, the maza. The maza.
I feel like a bandana.
Priceless. Absolutely priceless. I did it myself. Me. See me, yeah? I did it. Not you. Me.
So I was like, then the thing is, so obviously Shindy at this point is obviously managing Ikram, her dinner and everything. And so obviously you got to choose your moment. Like she needs to understand that A, my fix get that, the B, this is the cause of it. But I can't interrupt while like she's managing Ikram, right? Looking up.
Oh no, I'll tell her. I will go straight in, China shop. I'm like, look what you did. Look what you did. Don't be using my daughter as a protection mechanism. Yeah, human shields and that. No. Look at this.
But me not being you, I was like, no, this takes priority. So I left it, but I didn't throw it away. I left it in the shower. I was like, when she comes up, Anyway,
you left it in the shower.
Yeah, like on the floor.
Oh, you disgusting man. Okay.
No, but she needs to see it. What else do you want me to do? I'm not going to take it downstairs.
I would have taken it downstairs.
No. It was drippy. So, anyway, I'm like, Chalo, this is taking me a while. I'm blocking like 2 drains at the same time. Kalpani here, Kalpani there. I was like, Chalo, theek hai. Then, now, what phone did your best friend have, Indy, up until very recently?
iPhone 8. Has she wait. Where did she change her phone?
This is part of the story. So why has Shindy not gone away from the iPhone 8 even though I've offered to get her the iPhone 16?
Because she likes a button.
She likes a bloody home button, right? Can't get away from it. Can't do swipe. Anyway, so on this evening, Ikram often takes her phone. She'll take her phone and be like, I think we said, I don't know if you've seen the video recently. She's like, hello, Dada, hello.
I
will send it to you. Anyway, so now Shindy will think that I paid Ikram to do this or I sort of manipulated her or NLP'd her. It's not the case. But she accidentally dropped Shindy's phone, which meant that the face recognition... No, this will happen. Shindy couldn't use some of the buttons, so she restarted her phone. Restarting the phone means you can't use face recognition. She'd lost use of the bottom 3 numbers, which is part of her code. Couldn't get into her phone. She had work the next day. She needed the phone, networking. Da-da-da. What to do, Indy? What would you do in a situation? I'll tell you what I did.
Laugh. At that point, bro, you have to laugh because there's nothing you can do to fix the situation. The situation is foobar, fucked up beyond any recognition. You can't fix that. You can't fix that, bro. So you can try and back it up and plug it in, but if you plug it in, you might be pushing the Barney further in.
No, there's no Barney. I thought you said it was in a bath. No, she's dropped on the floor.
Oh,
it's just so it's basically the impact of the hard floor has meant that there's parts of the screen don't recognize your finger. That's the problem.
So you could try and plug it in, but I don't think you'll be able to back it up.
Okay, so I got Shindy's phone, went on ChatGPT, said this situation, tell me solutions. How do I get into the phone? What are my workarounds? That's why I literally said ChatGPT. Gave me a whole list of things. So I had to put it into recovery mode, right? So this special mode that I think he has. Connected up to like iTunes equivalent or whatever it is on my Mac or whatever. And Shindy's phone was so old that it wouldn't allow further updates because the way to get around it was to do the update, but it said update not possible. So then it said you have to restore it. If you restore it, obviously he wipes the phone. So then the punga came. Okay, so when was the last time Shindy's
backed it up?
Right, and you can't check on that phone. So I need an accessory device that was linked. Right. The only other device that Shindy has is an iPad mini. I don't think they still make iPad minis. This is from like, I bought this for Shindy when maybe she was in uni. This thing is old. Like when people used to have iPods.
Yeah.
Like back then. So then I was like, put that bastard cheese on charge. That took like 30 minutes to just turn on. It's on that red bloody battery thing. And I was just getting frustrated. Finally got into that. That went into the Apple ID because her Apple ID, I couldn't sign in my laptop even though I knew the password because it needed 2-step verification. The 2-step verification device kept sending it to not my email, not Shindy's email, to this bloody other devices that she can't get into anyway. So no access. I was like, so if you can't access this, what do you do? So then I was trying to change where the recovery goes to my phone. And finally, so once I got into an iPad mini, I did 2 things. I added my phone number so the 6-digit one-time password came to me. That was good. And the second thing is I could see that it was backed up this morning. Right. So now...
The phone was?
Yeah. So I was like, okay,
that's good. At least you had auto backup on.
Right. So then I was like, okay. Then Shindy, so look, I'll have to restore it because I can't get out of recovery mode. She's like, no, just put it back to normal and I'll get the screen replaced tomorrow. She has a friend in her networking group that'll do it. I was like, I think I'm too deep now because I can't get out of the recovery mode. Then I found some software that would do it, but you have to pay for it. It's like 50 quid to take it out. And
one of them ones, yeah.
Right. I was like, so do you want me to do that or should I just go through the recovery mode? And then I thought, why don't you just upgrade the phone? Right? And so I've got some old iPhones, an iPhone 11, and I was like, I wouldn't be transferring it from phone to phone because we've got the backup, so I can do straight backup onto iPhone 11.
Which would be quick.
You would think, Indy, wouldn't you? But what is the size of Shindy's backup? This woman has videos and photos since 2014. Give me an estimate on the guesstimate of the guess of how many gigabytes.
What's the capacity of her old phone? It can't have been more than 64 gig.
No, this is Apple Cloud, bro. This is where the backup is.
Oh, so she got one of them like 1 terabyte setup ones.
Yeah, don't worry. It wasn't a terabyte. I would have just been like, mini life. That's it. No, over. She had 100 gigabytes. 100 gigabytes.
Love it.
No, don't love it, right? So then I got the iPhone 11, connected it up. I was like, I'm setting this up as a new phone. I'd wiped it, setting up as a new phone, restoring from backup from iCloud, 100 GB. You get that thing about estimated time. So first it's just a cycle, no
Yes.
estimated time. And I was like, okay, shit, it's not showing estimated time. ChatGPT, why is it not showing that? It said, just wait. Finally, but the time comes up. 3 hours. This is about like 10 p.m., right? And I'm like, George, okay, come back to you half an hour later. 17 hours. Come back 15 minutes. 23 hours. More than a day. And I was like, no, you're not defeating me, Master Cheese. You are not defeating me. So, in a moment of brilliance and genius, I remembered. Now, what I'm about to tell you, the only reason I bought this one piece of kit, which I've only used on one niche instance, it's when I did a Instagram Live. Instagram Live, you can only do from your phone. You can't do from your MacBook, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So I did one with Sunny a while ago. And on there, the connection, the Wi-Fi in my room was very poor at that time. So I got so frustrated with that, I bought a lightning adapter in which an Ethernet cable can go into it. So I was giving Ethernet hardwired to my iPhone to have a stable connection to the Instagram Live. After that, I never did Instagram Live. Well, I've only done them with you, and so I've not needed this piece of kit. But I thought, okay, hold on. It's trying to do the backup from Wi-Fi. It's saying bloody more than a day. So I thought, what would happen? Again, went back to ChatGPT. If I use an Ethernet bridge here, would this make the solution quicker? Right? Now, when you put Ethernet into your MacBook, it tells you that the Ethernet's connected. You get that thing, right?
Yeah.
The iPhone doesn't have that. So I remember the iPhone is not on at this point, so I can't go to settings or anything because it's in the home screen. I put the Ethernet thing in. The way you know, future reference, everybody, the Wi-Fi symbol goes and it goes back to the 4 or 5G thing. That's how you know the Ethernet port is in. It went from more than a day, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Remember,
Your shitty internet, bro.
No, I got 1 gig of data, bro. But the Wi-Fi, for whatever reason, just doesn't like it. As soon as I give it that hardwire, bang. And then, so finally, at midnight, I was like, मैं drain fix किता, मैं तेरा phone fix किता, मैं तेरा life fix किता, मैं kini fix किता. Husband of the year.
And
Thank
what
you
did
very
Shindy say? Did she say thank you?
She did. I mean, she's very sleepy at this point. She had to wake up at like 5 a.m. the next day for a meeting. But I was just like, and the thing was, even though the phone was on at this point, all the apps were slowly downloading. So she didn't have maps
that takes
and
a while.
WhatsApps. And I was like, prioritize this one. But what an ordeal, man. What an ordeal. I was like, Shindy, just, don't come to me with your problems.
No, Shindy, stay up to date with new tech
Yep.
because this old tech stuff is giving people headaches.
Giving me headache.
Because eventually you are going to have to migrate over to that thing. And when you do, you are not going to enjoy it. For example, it was ball ache for me to move from my 11 Pro Max to my new phone now in Dubai. That was with full fast internet, everything. Just moving stuff across is long. Moving it from one phone to the other. You have to go into backup. My space was limited on my phone. It wouldn't back up enough because it needed spare storage to back it up. So I had to delete a bunch of stuff. Like, you got to be careful with that. So, yeah, it's not fun. And it is a proper ball ache.
Yes, that was quite an ordeal that evening.
Just salute, Baji. Well done. Very proud of you.
Thank you, man. Like, I like fixing things. But ज़्यादा हो गया.
Yeah, but not at that time of night.
Do you know what I mean? ज़्यादा हो गया. And
if you give it to me on a
crisis.
Sunday morning, I'm up for the challenge.
Sunday morning, no one else in the house, as in like
Fine.
I'm baby free. I'll work on a project. Tiga. But this time sensitive, critical, nothing's working. But that Ethernet adapter, man, changed the game.
Fucking fair play, man.
That's it, man.
Good job.
Nice it. Nice कितना थी.
You did good, Jeej.
Good कितना. Good काम सी. तू गाता काम कितना. मैं good काम कितना.
Thank you.
That's
Well
it.
done. Well done. Right. Anything else to add?
That's it.
Clock the episode there, bro. I think that was bang on 1 hour. And I'm going to go watch Man United probably lose the Europa League final. Not final, quarterfinal. People, thank you much for joining us. Please leave a comment. Let us know about the hijab episode and your thoughts.
Oh,
So a lot of people got very upset.
Yeah, listen, people getting triggered. Just final note on this. The first clip you've seen, Hijab is not telling everybody, go and sell your land. He's saying, if you want to know how to sell your land, go and ask him. If that's what you're thinking of anyway, go and ask him. He's not saying, everybody sell your zameen. Not saying that. If you want to keep it, you want to farm your land, you want to give it to family, you want to just basically keep it, we are not pushing for everybody to sell the land. He's saying, if you do want to sell it, there is a way, and this is how you do it. That's what he's saying. Nuance, people. Listen to the full episode.
But no one watches that, man. You have to make the clip a little bit tasty. Yeah, you have to make it a little bit tasty. Yeah. It's got to be done. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Hope you learned something about the land pod. I hope you guys figure out what you want to do with your land. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with mine with the family. But it's opened a conversation, which is helpful. So let's see. I also forwarded the episode to my dad and he's not replied. So let's see what happens. Yes, Doctor.
Got one shout out to do. Shout out to Gurpavan. Gurpavan, I met her and her family in Antalya Airport as we were coming back, just about to go through security. Weird, Turkish security is weird, man. You get into the airport, you go through security, thinking security, but then there's another security later on, which is basically the same cheese. Anyway, Gurpavan is an optometrist. She's there with her beautiful family. Couldn't work out with her or her husband who actually really watches the podcast, but the kids definitely watched it. She came to me and said, are you Dr. Indy? And I was like, Indy will be very happy.
Are you Dr. Indy?
Where Doctor?
Yeah.
So like,
Should have walked around in your scrubs.
I don't do those things anymore, mate. Don't do those things anymore.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I did something once. It was very silly. I won't do that again.
Go on. What did you do?
When I was a third year medical student, right? Third year in Birmingham is when you leave basically the classroom and you start going into hospitals. So you start to feel a bit more like a doctor. I walked up to the Broad Street Nando's in scrubs. May have had a stethoscope on. Don't think I did, but I may have.
Oh my God. You fucking beg.
I don't know if I did, but if I did, that's just bad. Anyway, and I was escalated along the line to get my food. It's such a silly thing to do.
You fucking arsehole.
Yeah, I told you. No, listen, silly thing to do, right?
I'm glad you don't do that anymore, mate.
No.
20-year-old Karan must have been very happy.
Yeah, absolutely. The power went straight to that.
And on that note, see you next week, people. Goodbye. Thank you guys for watching. Check out the rest of our episodes here and don't forget to subscribe here. We'll see you guys on the next one.